Okay, guys, so today's lesson, we're going to go over the answers from the reading on Friday. A lot of y'all struggled with this. So we're going to go over this and where we can find the answers. Um, let's start off with the first question here. So, who were the first Europeans to explore North America? Now, it says right there, the first attempt at European exploration in the Americas actually started around the year 1000 when Norse Vikings crossed over from Greenland and Iceland and established a settlement. Now, it talks about Christopher Columbus in 1492, but that's 492 years later. That's not a first attempt if it's 492 years afterwards. So you guys got to look at what's given to you there. So year 1000, year 1492, 492 years. There's no way there could be a first attempt. Your answer there was Norse Viking. So, what did Columbus set out from Spain to find? He sailed from Spain to an island in the Caribbean and encountered the Tonto people. That was the most common answer. That is not correct. It just says he did it. He didn't know these people existed. This is why they were called Indians at first, is because he thought he landed in India. So they can't be looking for him if they don't know they existed. So he thought he discovered a new trade route to India, but he was wrong. Instead, he discovered a new route to the Americas, and this discovery would change the world. This question was, you got to think about it a little bit. So the question was, what did he set out to find? He didn't set out to find the people. He set out to discover a new trade route to India. Remember when I said he thought they were called Indian? He called them Indians. He set out for a new trade route to India. So that would be your answer on number 2. What did Spain want to do with the newly discovered land in the Americas? Now, this one, y'all got 2 of the 3 answers. I got a lot of the 2 of the 3 answers, and that's good. You just didn't know you had to keep looking. I said you had to keep looking, but on this specific one, you didn't know you had to keep looking. Every time you look, you got to look all the way through on a reading. You can't just, oh, here it is. So, Columbus's voyages began a period of European exploration, conquest, and colonization in the Americas. Spain wanted to claim the land in the Americas and create colonies. To explore and conquer New Spain, the Spanish turned to explorers called conquistadors. So they wanted to explore and conquer. There's your 2 of the 3. So they wanted to explore and they wanted to conquer. Now, the next part, and a very important part, is here in this next paragraph. In addition to searching for gold, which some of you thought was part of the answer, it's not. So exploring and conquering means you're getting gold. If you conquer, you're getting gold from the people you conquer. So that one, I can't blame you for not knowing, but you just got to. So for future reference, when you conquer somebody, you're taking everything they have, including their gold. They also wanted to spread their faith. So Catholic priests came with the conquistadors, convert the native population to Christianity. Your answer here is explore, conquer, spread Christianity. That is the third and most important part right there. The Spanish had a positive relationship with natives and respected them. So, think about it. The conquistadors were allowed to establish settlements, steal the wealth of the Native Americans, in return took part of the treasures they found. Like I said, conquer with gold. Are they friends with the Native Americans if you're stealing wealth? No, you can't be. Are you friends with anybody that steals something from you? Probably not. So there's no way that they were going to be friendly and anything like that with the Native Americans. So your answer here is false. So, what brought the French wealth in the Americas? So, that question is what it means is the Spanish were looking for gold. What were the French looking for? They were not looking for gold. So the stories of gold and wealth would motivate other European conquer lands in the Americas. So the French exploration started in 1504 with Jacques Cartier. He claimed North America for France and claimed the region for New France. And then all the way. Okay. Gold was not found, but the French found the fur trade could bring them wealth. So, right there, gold was not found, but the fur trade could bring them wealth. Right there, your answer is fur. And a lot of you actually got this one. I'm very proud of y'all. So, this one right here, you guys, I think some of you didn't zoom in, and that's probably why I got the answers I got. But I got a lot of 1600s, and the reading has no 1600s whatsoever in the reading. There is no 1600s. This is 1500s. So I think that's what it was y'all put 1600s because that looks like from a small, if you were looking at it, a tiny text, a 16, but there was no 16. But that's also the wrong answer. Again, question is, when did English exploration of the Americas begin? Just as Spain conquered claimed a majority of the land in Central and South America, the English would soon claim a majority of the land in North America. The first you have to have something first to begin something. Expedition occurred in 1497. That's when it began, 1497, not the 1500s, 1497, because, again, it literally says the first, and it says, when does it begin? You can't have something else unless it's the first. What was the biggest impact of the Columbian Exchange in the Americas? I got some different answers. Some of them I can see where you got them from, but that's it, literally right here. The biggest impact of the Americas, it says it word for word. So, the biggest impact of the Americas was the loss of life. Millions of people died from the disease brought over by the Europeans. That is the biggest impact of the Columbian Exchange. How did the Columbian Exchange impact the people of Africa? Y'all said they became slaves. I took that answer because, yeah, they did become. Well, technically, they were already slaves and they were coming from Africa. But, yes, they did become slaves. So, the Columbian Exchange impacted the people in Africa, but the answer right here enslaved the native population of the Americas to work on their farms and search for more gold. So, it impacted people in Africa as well. Spanish enslaved the native populations of the Americas. Oh, I'm sorry. I have to keep reading. Ignore that part. When the native people died, Africans were enslaved and brought over to the Americas. Millions of Africans. This is the part that I wanted you on it. I got yes, you are right. They became slaves, but I wanted you to understand the impact. So millions of Africans were sold into slavery to work in the Americas. So this is just the beginning of it. Millions upon millions of them. Yes, they were slaves, but you didn't say how many. They could have been very few. Right there, millions of Africans. That was what I was looking for. Okay, so that's all the answers from the quiz from Friday. Guys, we got to do a better job of reading, actually. I know a lot of you said, yes, I read, but you guys are just, you're going through the motion right now. We need to get back into, school thinking and getting back into, reading like we were in school before the break. I know it's been a while, but we slowly got to transition into this and start reading and start looking for things that answer the question. So we got to look at what actually answers the question. We got to read the question and think about what answers the question, not just something that sounds good. So we just got to get back into the habit. And so we're going to slowly start doing that, slowly start adding more readings, and slowly start working on this again, because this is an essential skill. You still will use this after you graduate from high school. So you need to be able to find information and be able to determine what's important and what's not. Now, before we're done, I told you we'd go over this on Monday, and we are. So, examine the following statement. Circle the answer choice that best matches the statement. We sent Christopher Columbus to set for a new trade route. Right there, Spain. We claimed land in Canada. So, many French explored north areas of North America, present-day Canada. We established the very first European settlement in the Americas. Very first. First attempt, Norse Viking explored Iceland, established a settlement in current-day Canada. It only lasted a few years. It's the first, though. Just because it didn't survive doesn't mean it's not the first. We converted the Native Americans to Catholicism. Catholic Spanish also came to spread their faith. Catholic priests came with conquistadors. I'm having a hard time right now. But there's your answer. Spanish. Spanish and English. We brought corn and potatoes to Europe from the Americas. Where? There we go. Besides gold and silver, ships brought corn and potatoes from the Americas to Spain. So, Spain. We started a colony at Roanoke. In the late 1500s, several more English explorers sent to North America. They claimed land along the Atlantic coast for England and started the first colony called Roanoke. So, the English. We sent Henry Hudson to explore parts of Canada. All right, Henry Hudson was an Englishman who was hired by the Dutch East India Company in 1609. So, the Dutch. We lived peacefully with the Native Americans. The French became trading partners and were typically friendly with them. So, the French. We gained wealth through trading in furs. We've already answered that question. The French. We spread disease that decimated the native population. Well, it's not the Norse because they didn't last very long. It's the English. So, go ahead and finish this Ed puzzle, and then that should be it for today. Tomorrow, I can't actually wait to see y'all in person. It's finally about time. I'm tired of this online learning. It's hard to do. I'm sure you're tired of it, but I'll see y'all tomorrow.